Hi, welcome to my channel. I am Vannessa, and I know it's been a while since I've uploaded a video, but here I am uploading one. And the topic that I wanted to cover, that I've been wanting to cover actually, is body image as well as depression. And I get to share with you my journey with both. So I struggle with depression. Now, mind you, I am a genuinely happy person. Like, I am as grateful as they come. But I still feel the ache, the sadness, the, pain. I struggle with depression regardless. And it started when I was in junior high. I got myself out of it, and I have not fallen back in since. Now, it's a daily fight. I wouldn't say it's every single day, but it's frequent, I guess you could say, because it's something that you live with for the rest of your life type of thing. And I fight for myself every single day, every single moment that there's a potential for me to fall back in. It's about the choices I make in that moment. It's about the thoughts that I allow myself to go through or whatever. So I just wanted to talk about my journey through depression as well as my self-image. So when I was in junior high, I would say, I was about maybe 12 or 13, somewhere along there. And I fell into I would say deep depression. Now, self-diagnosed. I didn't go to a doctor. They didn't tell me you're depressed. I didn't go to a therapist that told me I'm depressed. I know my own emotions. I think we all do. And I don't need someone to tell me what I'm feeling, And so it's self-diagnosis, guys. It's, I know myself, I know my emotions, I know me. And yeah. So with that said, I was going through a lot at that time. Things that I can't quite share just yet, but maybe down the line I will. So when I was going through all that, I felt alone. There's three main things that happened that were the catalyst of what got me out of it. One was this article I read, and it was this female artist. I don't remember who it was, but I just remember it was this interview in an article form, anyway. And this person was talking about their insecurities and what they've been going through. And then they said, and I'm paraphrasing at this point because I don't remember the exact words that were used. Sorry. I don't remember the exact words that were used. I don't remember much of it. But there's this one part that always stood out to me that I just forever remember. And it's just what stood out to me the most. It's what I needed to see. I believe everything happens for a reason. And I came across this for a reason because I needed this reminder. And what this reminder was God doesn't make mistakes. And I know not everyone believes in God, not everyone has faith in God, but I am a woman of faith. I do believe in God. I have a relationship with God, and it's very important to me. And so to me, this really did stand out because it was a reminder. I needed to be reminded. I'm not a mistake. Nothing of the way I look is a mistake. Nothing of the way I am is a mistake. I am meant to be the person I am. And so that was really big for me to come across that. And that was one of the 3 things that really helped get me out of that depression that I was in. Because a lot of it had to do with that very thing. I felt like I wasn't supposed to be here. And I was not suicidal, but I still felt like, I guess, a mistake. He created us from, like, we were created before we were even conceived. I mean, it's a pretty cool thing to think about that, and I read this in a book that was like, I love this chapter. And it, again, was much needed for me to read, and it was that even if, and I'm not saying this is my situation necessarily, but even if, like, for example, your parents think you're a mistake, your parents tell you you're a mistake, or people in your life tell you you're a mistake, that whatever, the fact is that you're not. The fact is that you were planned by God. You might not have been planned by your parents, but you were planned by God. And he planned you from every strand of hair down to your toenails, like, tip of your toes, whatever. Like, everything, right? Your personality, the way you look, the way you are, everything. And to think that someone who's created this massive world of wonders and just wonderfulness thought to create you too and chose you. Like, that's a huge thing, is to be chosen. And that baffles my mind all the time. I'm just like sometimes I'll just be driving, or I'll be like out and about or whatever, and I'll all of a sudden be like, whoa, God chose me to be alive right now. Like, that's whoa, And I just think about like how he's chosen me. And it's a great feeling, like, to know that you were chosen, and to know that someone who's created so many sorry, I don't even know what word to use here. And I already used the word wonderful, so I don't want to, like, be so repetitive. But really, like, someone who's created such wonderful things. Sorry, I'm thinking of The Little Mermaid right now, where she's like, but anyway, created me. Whoa, and like every individual, like, that's such a cool thing to think about. I mean, I think that's a really cool thing to think about. But I digress. Or did I? It's okay. 2 was this. So there's this family friend that we have that I had a massive crush on growing up. I mean, I was a kid, and he's 9.5 years older than me. So of course I wasn't going to tell him, and of course nothing was ever going to happen. But, a crush is a crush. You feel what you feel, and it is what it is, right? So anyway, he is a family friend who's kind of like a big brother at the same time, if that makes sense. And I used to go to him for advice all the time. And it was always by email, because he lived in a different city, and I live in a different city, so it was just the best way to communicate. And one day I just really wanted to know his perspective on what he thought about women asking men out, right? And he answered and shared some stories, some experiences he's had regarding that. And then he wrote a PS on there. And the PS said, "You are beautiful, smart, and funny." And I don't remember the order of the words, but it doesn't matter. The fact is that he used these 3 words to describe me. What? Right? No, it's not really like what. But the thing is that when I read it, I believed it. And I think the reason why was because of how much I respected him, how much I admired him, how much I looked up to him, how much I valued his opinion, and it wasn't validation. It was just someone that I thought highly of thought this way of me, and that meant a lot, it meant that much more, so that was a huge moment that happened that helped me get out of the depression that I was in. One of the 3 things. Fun fact, I ended up sharing that story with that family friend years and years and years later. But it was one of those things where, without him knowing or realizing it, he said something that I really needed to know, hear, read, whatever, right? And when I shared with him the difference that he made in my life with that statement and what it meant to me and how it helped, it was one of the things that helped get me out of depression. I mean, talk about timing. He was going through a really hard time at that time that I shared it. And it was something he really needed to know, read, see, hear, whatever, right? And it wasn't even, well, I was going to say it wasn't even that I said something, but because all I did was share the story, but I guess I shared what it meant to me. And that's the thing is sharing with people how you feel is huge, because I do it all the time. I'm like, I don't care. I can get rejected. It's all good. Like, as long as they know, as long as I said it, But the funny thing is that I mostly only share the good, positive, loving things. If something's bothering me, I'm not as good about expressing those feelings. But feelings on love, like, almost always, I would say I do it maybe like a good 99% of the time. I don't know why there's that 1% that I might not, but just to kind of cover that possibility of times I might not. Anyway, so yeah, that was a really cool thing that happened, was being able to share what that meant to me, and then it giving more. I don't know. This is cool, 3. I used to read these Chicken Soup for the Teenage Soul books. I've always been into self-development and just reading. I love reading. So anyway, I used to read these books. And in one of the books was a story about a woman who was anorexic, who was at a rehabilitation center. And I don't remember if it was her sharing the story or a nurse. I want to say it was a nurse that shared the story. But that's besides the point. The story was about this woman who was anorexic at this rehabilitation center. And the nurses told her to stand in front of the mirror naked and say the words, "I am beautiful." For whatever reason, this really stood out to me, and I decided to give it a try. So every single day, before I got in the shower, I undressed and I stood in front of the mirror, and I would say, "I am beautiful." Not only was it difficult to say the words, but after they would leave my lips, I would start to cry. As soon as they left my lips, I would just start to cry because I didn't believe it. I didn't believe myself. And then the next day, I would do it again. I am beautiful. And I would cry again. And the next day, I am beautiful. And cry again. I still didn't believe myself. but I did it every single day. And I did it naked. And I would say, I am beautiful. Until one day, I finally believed myself. Until one day, I didn't cry after saying it. Until one day, the words just came out of my mouth. It wasn't difficult to say. And I brought my self-esteem up to a healthy level. And that was one of the three major things that happened in my life at that time that made a huge significance and made a huge impact, and is what helped me get out of the depression that I was in. I don't know. No, I do know. The things that sent me into depression was all the outside. Like, all the people saying the things they would say to me. All the things I was going through. It was hard. I mean, obviously, right? Depression is something really difficult to deal with. And it's one of those things where you just feel alone. I mean, I can only speak for myself, but for me, I felt alone. I felt unwanted, unlovable, unloved, unworthy, unwanted. So many things. And I mean, I was young at the time. I was preteen, early teen age. I was in junior high. I found out some stuff, and it was, processing it, not having the support to go through it. I was really alone. I mean, the only thing I had, which is what's gotten me through everything in my life, is God. The reason why I am where I am, the reason why I am the way I am, the reason why I've gotten through I am, the reason why I'm as strong as I am, is because of my relationship with God. He's what's gotten me through everything. So even though I felt alone, I knew I wasn't alone because I had him. I have him. And I know that everyone is different, the way they process things, the way they handle it. And the reason why I'm sharing what I've been through and what helped me get out of it is because there's a formula for you to get out of the depression you're in if you're someone who feels depressed or struggles with depression. And that's just what I needed in my life to fall into place in order for me to be pulled out of it. And I was able to get out of depression. But it's still a struggle because I could easily fall back in, easily. But I don't, because I fight for myself, because I'm worth fighting for, and I fight for myself. And I'm worth fighting for, So since I got myself out of depression, I haven't fallen back in. But it doesn't mean that there's not potential for me to. It doesn't mean that there aren't moments where I can. Oh my gosh, no, there's lots of moments that it could totally happen. But I fight for myself. I make choices where I don't fall back in, And I think the biggest reason that I want to share this is to let you know you're not alone. Like, I know that I can't necessarily talk to you one-on-one. I mean, maybe. But anyway, but regardless, you're not alone. You have people in your life, and if you don't have people in your life, I think the biggest thing is knowing that the emotions you're feeling are normal. They are not just you feeling them. Like, there's other people in the world that feel this, and therefore you're not alone in it, you know. And people have their own way of processing things. People have their own way of going through it, and I'm not here to tell you how to do it. I'm not here to tell you how to get out of depression, what you should do, what you need to do. That's not my place. I'm not here to tell you that. I'm just here to share my journey through it. And if it inspires you, you know, that may be something completely different from what happened for me, but it was like kind of like that spark of like, oh, wait a minute, and then kind of leads you through your path into like depression free freedom of depression, which technically I guess you're not really ever free of it because it's a struggle nonetheless. But to not be in the depression, you know, there's ways. And so I want you to know that you matter. And even though I may not know you personally, you still matter to me. And the reason why I even make these videos is because if someone needs to hear this, what I have to say, what I have to share, and it helps them, I want to do it. I want to help people feel better and not alone and know that they matter. I've had personally so many moments where I feel like I don't matter, or I feel alone, and it's such a crappy feeling. It's painful. I don't want people to feel that way. And so even when I'm hurting, I'm still pouring out more and more love, because the last thing I want is company in the misery that I'm feeling. Because, you know, misery loves company, but I don't. I do not want people to feel the hurt and pain that I felt. I don't want that for anyone. And I know I can't take that away from everyone, and I can't help every single person. But isn't it worth doing if even just one person gets something out of it? One person. That's totally worth it. I don't know. At least it is to me. Since the accident, I've actually gained a lot of weight. And this is actually the biggest I've ever been. Ever. And it's okay. It's not a bad thing. It just is what it is. It's just where I'm at, right? And when I look in the mirror, I still see myself as beautiful. I still say I am beautiful. And I believe it, and I see it, and I feel it. However, I'm not comfortable at the weight I'm at. So I have a comfortable weight I like to be at. And it's not that this weight makes me happy, this weight, you know, because a lot of like body positive things talk about like, oh, no weight number or whatever is gonna make you happy, because when you get there you still wanna this whatever, and they talk about all those things, right? So for me, it's not that it makes me happy, because I already am happy. For me, it's just I feel most comfortable. I like how my clothes fit better. I feel comfortable. I feel, you know, it's just how I feel comfortable, which I think is the best way to explain it. And so I've actually have lost some weight. And what I did was, okay, so I haven't really been able to have a lot of physical activity in my day. Because of the dizziness, the headaches, the injuries, everything. Like, it's, you know, I couldn't. My eating wasn't terrible, but it wasn't super great either. And what I mean by terrible and great is simply just the types of food that cause weight gain, the amounts and all that stuff, right? I'm not saying it's good or bad. I'm just saying, you know. So anyway. But yeah, like my eating was fine. But because I wasn't getting a lot of movement in my day and I wasn't like really burning calories and getting that going, I ended up gaining quite a bit of weight. And so recently I looked in the mirror and I said, I am at my comfortable weight. I am at the weight I want to be at. I accept myself unconditionally. And it was almost like a snap of a finger that just completely changed. And I think it was because I started seeing myself that way. So like when I would look in the mirror, I'd be like, But then I said those words and I believe them because I am, right? I am. And I started losing weight right away. I think what happened was I said the words, I believed them, I meant them. And then my actions and everything just started falling into place to support that thought, that mindset, those words, that feeling, that statement, that whatever, right? And so I'm on my journey to getting back down to the weight I feel most comfortable at. And it's great. I feel good. You know, I feel like I'm getting there, and I like to do it slowly. I do not like to drop the weight super fast. I believe that when people lose the weight super fast, that the body goes into shock and it just reverts right back up to the weight it was originally at and then some. Because also you're not truly making a lifestyle change. You're just, usually people are just doing like those fad diets, or they're doing something that like for that point in time made a difference, but then they don't keep doing it, so then it just goes right back. But anyway, I do believe that the body goes into shock. And so what I do is I lose a few pounds at a time. I lose a few pounds, I maintain it, keep it off, lose a few more, maintain it, keep it off, lose a few more, and then I do it slowly. And yeah, it takes a lot longer, but guess what? I keep it off and I feel comfortable. So that's what I do. But, you know, and it's not about looking good for other people. It's not about being seen a certain way by other people. It's how I see myself and what I feel comfortable at. You know, it's just how I feel. Like it's, and I think that's okay, you know? Yeah. So my hair, I gotta say, is one of my favorite things about myself. I love my hair. And I don't say it in a way to be conceited or anything like that. And if it comes off that way, I'm sorry, I don't mean it to. And I don't want it to. But I think it's okay to have qualities about ourselves that we really like. And what I happen to really like about myself is my hair. I normally have really long hair. My hair is usually down to my waist. And after the accident, I decided to cut it. I just felt like getting it cut, and I did, and it was a beautiful haircut. Came up with it together with my hairstylist. And then I'm incredibly blessed that my hair grows really fast. So he would cut it and I'd have to go and get it cut again because the layers and stuff would grow out super fast. So I mentioned that, and then he gave me like this different hair, I call it hair's cut, you know, because there's always that smart ass that's like, oh, just a haircut, you just cut one hair. And so by saying hair's cut, it's kind of like eliminating that. But anyway, and then it's, you know, hair's cut. So anyway, and he cut it where it looked different, right? And I was just kind of like, okay. And then stuff happened, and there was this woman that I was recommended to go to, and I thought, well, you know, give it a try, see what happens, right? What ended up happening was this woman ended up giving me a really, really, really bad haircut. Like, it was really bad. It was think of you know John Stamos when he plays Uncle Jesse in Full House back in the day, and he has like this like mullet looking haircut, right? And then combine it with that episode on Friends when Phoebe cuts Monica's hair and she's all like, I said Demi Moore, not Dudley Moore. And she ends up cutting her hair, just, you know, so put the two together. That's basically what she gave me. No idea why. Oh, it was just, you know. So anyway, she did this thing where she gave me like super short layers up here, right? I mean, they were short. And then she gave me long bangs, I guess it was. And it was like here, right? Because she didn't even want to give me bangs to begin with, because I wanted bangs, because I've had them before and I like how they look, but they have to be done properly, and also depends on the haircut that you have. Hair's cut. And it was like, because of, okay, so she cut the bangs, right? And it was like here, and it connected to like the rest of the layers that were like here, that top layer, right? I was like, and then on top of it, she thinned out my hair, like in the bottom. It looked crazy, like it was bad. I was like, so that was really fun to go through. And again, I'm very fortunate, very blessed that my hair grows fast, so you know, I've been able to fix it. And for a little while I was even cutting it myself because I could not find a good hairstylist, but I finally found someone. I love her, she's great. And I had to cut my hair a little shorter again because I want to start growing it out again. But in order to kind of just get rid of all the like everything, like, you know, and I was fine with it because I've really have been having fun with the short hair look, so it's been fun for me. So anyway, so the thing about it is that there's two things for me. I rarely wear makeup. I mean, if you guys notice, the only thing I ever really wear is like chapstick, but that's it. Like, I don't wear makeup when I'm doing these videos, and I do that intentionally and purposefully because I don't want it to be about that. I mean, maybe at some point I might wear makeup in a video or something, but I intentionally don't wear makeup, and I just don't on a daily anyway, so this is more me. And then anyway, so why was I talking about that? Why was I talking about not wearing makeup? Okay, I don't remember where I was going with the no makeup thing. Oh, okay. Self-love, self-image. There was a video I posted for the Portos Bake at Home thing, right? And I recorded the video of when I received the food, and my hair was going through that whole thing that was going on, and it looked horrible. You can't really tell unless I tell you, and it's also the hair's cut and stuff, and it's not about how other people see it, that whatever. It's not about other people, it's about my comfort level and how I felt, how I looked and all that, right? But I posted it anyway to challenge myself, to push myself that it didn't matter. So I didn't feel like I looked good in that moment. So what? Like, you know? So I did it anyway, and I posted it, and I regret nothing. Anyway, the reason why I'm mentioning my hair and stuff is because, and the reason why I mentioned the whole makeup thing is because there's two things that make me feel pretty. Like, I feel good about myself, and that's my hair being done and my eyebrows. So, and by my hair being done, I don't mean like getting it done. Like, this is my natural hair out of the shower. This is my hair, literally did nothing to it. And I love it. And that's what I asked for. I'm like, low maintenance to no maintenance. I don't want to have to do anything. Like, I just, you know, I wake up and I'm just like good to go kind of thing. You know, I love that. So I have natural bed head, if you like see, yeah. Anyway, and I love it. I think it's great. I love my hair. So anyway, there's that in the eyebrows, right? So going through this whole healing process and going through this whole journey, something that helps me a lot, because also there's the waking, there was the fact that I couldn't really exercise, there was just so much, right? So something that helped me just feel good was just my hair being nice, you know, and my eyebrows being done, right? Which I do my own eyebrows. I don't go and get them done. I do them myself. And yes, there's time I do mess them up sometimes, but again, they grow fast, so I'm good. But yeah, so that, but you know what though? It was fun. It was fun figuring out ways to kind of make it look decent while it was growing out. And it was kind of like one of those rite of passages that people go through. So like people that are like super successful in the entertainment industry have had really bad haircuts. And I saw this video that was showing that, and I was just like, there it is. That's, you know, what I'm going through. So that's that means I'm gonna be successful, because that's the rite of passage to get to that, right? Anyway, yeah, that was fun. Look, you gotta do what makes you feel good about yourself. If putting, like, I have friends that say they can't leave the house until they have their face of makeup, and that's what makes them feel good about themselves. There's no judgment whatsoever for that. Like, I personally love natural beauty, and when I see my friends or anyone, and actually even strangers, like if I see someone, and whether they're wearing makeup or not, whether they're all done up or not, like I compliment people all the time, because they don't know that I think they look good unless I say it. So, and I figure, why not let them know? I don't know why, I love giving people compliments, but genuine compliments. They're not I'm not just saying it for the sake of saying it. Like, I really mean them. I mean the compliments that I give. And whether it's a stranger, whether it's someone I know, whether it's someone I just met, like, it doesn't matter. Like, I tell them. And even if it's someone I'm literally just like crossing by, like they're walking this way, I'm walking that way or whatever, and I see like their hair color looks super cute or something, I'll be like, I love your hair color. And they'll be like, thanks, you know. And sometimes they don't hear me because I kind of talk softly sometimes. Anyway, you are beautiful just the way you are. And I say this to you whether you are a woman or a man. Like, you are beautiful just the way you are, inside and out. You are who you are who you're meant to be, and there's nothing wrong with that. And you know, you have your own journey, your own path that you get to go through. And the thing that we need to be careful about is to not compare our journeys to someone else's, because the one that you're going through was specifically designed specifically for you, and you are the one that has to go through it, not anyone else. And that journey was specifically designed for that specific person, and that's the one they need to specifically go through. So keeping that in mind, right? Because I feel like a lot of times the reason why self-image issues come up, or any really insecurities or whatever, or negative self-talk or whatever, a lot of times, yes, it's outside negativity, but it's also when we compare ourselves to other people, other people's journeys, what other people are doing. It's a lot of it stems from that. And so it's just being careful on not comparing ourselves, because you bring just as many great qualities to the table as that person does. And the fact that they're different qualities is all the better. And if they're similar, cool. That's also good, you know? But I want you to know that you are amazing just the way you are. And yeah, there's room for improvement, there's room for growth. I'm not saying, you know, don't grow. Definitely keep growing. There's always room for that. But also, don't be so hard on yourself. Remember to be gentle with yourself. We have so much out in the outside world that's like constantly being so hard on ourselves. Like, why add to that? Why not give ourselves that gentle love that we need? You know, why not love ourselves in the way that we need to be loved? You know what actually helps me a lot? And I know I'm not the only one that this helps, but I'm gonna throw it out there anyway, is having different playlists. I mean, and it's for everything in life. I mean, it helps me. I mean, even because I'm a writer, so it's like even in my writing, like I have a playlist where I just have music that just helps me get in like the zone. You know, it puts me in that place of like writing. And I have playlists for, you know, because did I mention that I started driving again? Just slowly but surely I'm getting there, but I still experience trauma and PTSD as I'm driving. So it's still, you know, I'm making progress. It's still a process. But it's, you know, something I've been doing now, for a couple months. And, I have a playlist called I Got This, and it helps calm me, because I get a lot of anxiety and, like I said, trauma, PTSD, and all that. So having these songs, particular songs, any of them, help me feel like calm and just like, oh, it's gonna be okay. I got this. You know, like really, I got this. And then I have a playlist called Remember Who You Are. And it's basically songs that are just me, and I feel myself, and I'm just, and then they're just very encouraging, and they're very like, yeah, you know. I just have a bunch of different playlists for like different things and stuff. But if that's not something you've done already, or it's something you've been meaning to do but haven't gotten around to it, or I don't know, I would strongly recommend that you create some, and you put songs in there that make you feel like you're not alone, and that you got this, and that you are amazing just the way you are, and just whatever, you know, just songs that really bring joy in your life, that give you the support that you need, that help remind you who you are, that uplift you, that give you the feels of encouragement of, I got this, you know? I'm not alone. I am who I am. I'm amazing. I'm whatever, right? Like words of affirmations for yourself through song, because I feel like there's so many songs that I'm like, dude, I totally could have written this. Like this was like if I wrote it. You know, I mean, it's a very just, it lands so hard, and I feel like it was written just for me. And I know that I'm not the only one, but I do know that I have a very unique way of interpreting things as well. But it doesn't mean that other people aren't interpreting it the same way, you know? But regardless, I feel like music also helps a lot. So if that's something that you haven't already done, or if you have, maybe make a new playlist. You know, maybe add in a few songs that, you know, just like when I hear a song, like there's a song, I think it's just called I'm Me. And I love it because she's just saying, I'm perfectly me. Like I may not be perfect, but I'm perfectly me. And that's all we gotta be, is perfectly us. Like that doesn't mean we're perfect. No one's perfect, and good thing we're not, because that'd be boring, right? But there'd be a whole lot more organization, huh? Oh, but it's so much more fun this way. Anyway, and it doesn't have to be super upbeat songs. Like there's like slower songs that also have that, you know. I mean, it doesn't matter. Just whatever songs work for you. Maybe I'll put some in the little info area below the video of songs that I have in my playlist to just as suggestions. And then there's even some like, you know, make you feel sexy, and you're just like, yeah, you know, I don't know. I think that's something you should do if you haven't already. And if you have, maybe you might want to make another playlist or add more songs, or I don't know. Yeah, you know. Again, I know that I might not know you personally. I know that we may never have a conversation, but I just want you to know that what you're going through, you're not alone. You matter. What you feel matters. What you think matters. What you're going through matters. And yeah, sometimes there's like smaller problems and you think, oh, what am I even like complaining about? Like, other people have it way worse. And yeah, it's true. There are people that have it way worse. But at the same time, that doesn't invalidate what you're going through and what you're feeling. Like, you get to feel what you feel. And I mean, the biggest thing is just don't stay stagnant, you know, like feel what you're feeling, but then do your best to move forward, you know. And just remember, there's that quote, everything in life is temporary. So if things are going good, enjoy it, because it won't last forever. And if things are going bad, don't worry, it can't last forever either. I don't know the exact words, it's something like that. But the basic thing is, yes, you may be going through a really tough time right now, but it won't last forever. It can't last forever. And good times are ahead. And also remember, things get worse before they get better. Oh, that's a hard one, but it's true. So if things feel like they're getting worse and you're just like, can't I catch a break? Come on. Just know that you're getting that much closer to what it is that's good, that's getting better, that your goal is coming sooner. You know, it's arriving, it's gonna get here, but you're being prepared for something. And that's something really important for you to remember. Everything happens for a reason, everything, and you are being prepared for something greater than you can even imagine. And when it arrives, you'll know. But before it does, it's going to be hard to believe that or feel that or whatever. And it's probably not the thing you want to hear either. But I truly believe that. And it's true. Yeah, I don't know. I think it is. And I get we don't always have the support we need to get through what we need to. But you get to find a way. I know it's hard to hear this, but sometimes you gotta give yourself that nudge, you know? It's not gonna last forever. You're gonna get through it. I mean, how many things have you already gotten through? I mean, come on. Like, this is not the first time something difficult in your life has happened. How many times has that happened? And look at you go. Look at you where you're at. Look at how far you've come and how much stronger of a person you are because of it. Dude, give yourself credit. And let me tell you, maybe that mountain is getting harder and harder to climb, but you're gonna get there, just not as fast as you'd like. It's gonna take a little bit longer, and that's okay, because everything happens for a reason, and timing is everything. And you're being prepared for something great. You really are. What that is, only you know. In that moment, maybe more, maybe before, I don't know. But you are a very strong person who matters. You matter. There's no question about it. I don't care that I've never met you. I don't care that I've never spoken with you. You matter. That's all there is to it. What you feel matters. Who you are matters. What you think matters. You as a person matter.